Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I want to do a little update to a story we talked about earlier in the week. This is obviously regarding the Mad Lions situation. They are one of 4 teams in the West that, hey, their spring split is already over. They are already starting to prepare for the summer split. Now, obviously, just like before, I'm going to say it again right now. There's only so much you can do right now because, LCS regular season isn't even done. Playoffs in neither region have even started yet. It's not like you can go talk to a bunch of players or talk to a bunch of teams yet. You can't really start making moves yet at this point. I don't know exactly when it's going to start. I don't know, as we get closer to the start of playoffs, or maybe as we get closer to the end of playoffs, or maybe not even until we get closer to MSI, our team's actually going to start talking to players and actually getting some deals done, and actually getting some things going. But I did put out a rumor and say that what I've been told earlier in the week, that there is people talking behind the scenes that maybe Mad Lions is looking to move on from Reeker. And in this video today, we're going to be going over potentially one of the options that some people are saying. Now, I don't think it's going to be too shocking, but there is some more that have heard about the situation. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest content. I think last time I checked, 46% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So hey, we're above half now. Over half the people that watch my videos are subscribed. But you other 46%, what are you guys doing? Click that button. That'd be absolutely awesome. Help us run those numbers up some more. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So, I don't really have any tweets or anything to show for this. It's nothing that people are really saying on Twitter yet at this moment. I think a lot of people that I've talked to behind the scenes are just kind of waiting. This is kind of a developing situation. This is something that they're a little bit scared to talk about. They're a little bit nervous to talk about because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to, everyone's got to be careful about keeping the players' best interest in mind and the team's best interest in mind. And obviously journalists and stuff have to be very, very careful about putting out news that ends up being false. You can't say something's going to happen or something is happening and then ends up being wrong, because then you hurt your reputation or whatever. And, I want to be mindful of that stuff as well. I'm not saying that I'm like completely being ignorant to any of that stuff, but I'm also saying, hey, I'm in a little bit different position than them. I'm mostly talking about the rumor mill. I'm not talking about, hey, this is what's going to happen, this is what is happening, whatever. I'm just saying, what people are telling me, what some ideas are out there, and just so you guys know, because I know a lot of people are curious, but then also, hypothetically, let's say this stuff is true, we can start those discussions and we can start those conversations. So, some of the latest that I've heard is I'm hearing some kind of conflicting statements or conflicting rumors. One of the main things I'm hearing is potentially, no surprise, that Mad Lions could be interested in Niski in the mid lane. Now, I think that would make a ton of sense. Obviously, Reeker has not been that great. I think Reeker might have been the worst mid laner in the LEC, especially all things considered. Like, have some other guys looked worse than him at times? Yes. Dayor has absolutely looked worse than him at times. Certus has absolutely looked worse than him at times. But I think Reeker has a better team around him. Reeker gets to play with a very good jungler, a very good support, and those are two positions that can really help a mid laner shine and succeed. To still look as weak as he's looked with kind of a better supporting cast around him, I give a little bit of a benefit to Dayor and Certus that, their teams kind of suck. Like, maybe they suck too, but their teams kind of suck, so it's a little bit harder to look good or to shine in those situations. So, no surprise that Mad Lions is potentially looking to make a move in the mid lane, and no surprise that they'd be going to Niski, because there's a couple of big name players that aren't on teams right now. Obviously, you have guys like Niski, you have guys like Jizuke, and you even have guys like Jensen, which could be a possible option as well. Again, I don't know how willing or able or whatever Jensen is to go to Europe. I don't know. I don't even know if he'd be considered a resident or import or whatever in Europe anymore. It doesn't really matter, obviously, because most European teams have a ton of import slots open. It's not like they're a region that's importing a whole lot. But yes, those are kind of the 3 big names that people are floating around for mid lane positions with some teams. We also have, this is the list that Alejandro Gomez and Wooloo put out as who they see as the top ERL mid laners right now. Not who they see, but they asked some coaches, they asked general managers, they asked a bunch of people involved in the ERLs. And some of the top mid lane options right now are Eminis, Aka, and Seiken. And obviously, Aka is a guy we've seen in the LCS. He was not that impressive. Maybe he's gotten better. Maybe he's better now. Seiken is a guy we've seen in the LEC before. He wasn't that impressive. Maybe he's gotten better. Maybe he's better now. Who knows? But, Eminis, I don't think we've seen him in the LEC before. He's kind of a player that people are hyped up for. Maybe he'll get a shot. Maybe that's where Mad Lions would want to look. Because we do know that Mad Lions loves, bringing up young players. They love bringing up young talent. And Mac even said that in a recent interview that, hey, Mad Lions is going to continue to do that. They're going to continue to take chances and take shots on young players that they think are promising. That's just kind of the Mad Lions way. But obviously, they took a big risk on Reeker, and to this extent, it hasn't worked out. And do they want to run back the same roster in the summer or not? Who knows? So it is possible they go with Niski. I think Niski would be interesting for this team. I think there's an argument that Niski is exactly what this team needs, and I think there's an argument that maybe he's not what this team needs. I think Niski paired up with Elyoya would be great. I think Elyoya and Niski would be able to play off each other super, super well, and I think it would really unlock Elyoya to maybe pop off a little bit more in games, which we haven't necessarily seen as much from him in 2021. But I do wonder if this team has enough carries for a guy like Niski. Obviously, Niski, in his most recent stint with Fnatic, played a little more for himself, played a little bit more to carry, but I think everyone would say when Niski's at his best, it's playing a little bit more facilitative, it's playing a little bit more for his team, and he's great at doing that. But Arma in the top lane, not necessarily a massive carry. Elyoya, I think, can be a carry, but, maybe he hasn't been as great in 2022 as he was in 2021. And then Unforgiven is your AD carry. He's a rookie. Do you want to put all that pressure and weight on him? I don't know. What Niski would be able to come in and do definitely would be a different style from what Humanoid was doing for this team in 2022. Now, also, you could come in, you could bring Niski in and try to have him play, more of a carry-oriented style, and maybe he can do that. Maybe he would be good. No matter what, I think any style, he would be an upgrade for Reeker. So that's interesting. There is people out there saying that, hey, Mad Lions is going to go try and get Niski. Who knows what's going to happen or not or whatever. But then there is also potentially a little hiccup. There is another, kind of story that I've heard that some people are saying that Mad Lions at this time might be a little bit worried. They might be a little cautious. They might even be a little bit scared away of potentially having to buy out Niski from Fnatic. I don't know what Niski's salary is, but hey, his salary is going to be a decent amount, and then his buyout from Fnatic is probably going to be a decent amount too. Now, we know when Cloud9 was trying to buy Niski from Fnatic, it was like $300,000, $350,000, somewhere in that range. Now, I don't know if Fnatic has brought down that buyout at all, if they're holding strong at that buyout. I don't know if they want to keep Niski in contract hell. I don't even know if Niski necessarily wants to come back in the summer split, because that's another comment I got from somebody on YouTube that was like, hey, Niski said on a stream that he's planning on streaming for like 2 splits and maybe he'll come back next year. Now, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard anybody else say that, but maybe that's the thing too. But there is a world where Mad Lions could potentially, again, I don't think they've talked with Fnatic yet. I don't think they've talked with Niski yet because it's not really that time. I don't even know if you're allowed to talk to players yet and anything like that. But there is a world where maybe they want Niski, but maybe the buyout's going to be an issue. Maybe he's going to be too expensive. Maybe he's going to be out of their price range. Mad Lions has some money. Obviously, they just sold off Humanoid. They have money to throw around a little bit. But again, Mad Lions historically is a team that likes to go for younger players, cheaper players, up-and-coming players that they also have many years of being able to hold on to for pretty cheap as well. And again, I don't know who exactly that's going to be, or if at that point, if they can't get Niski, if they can't get somebody like that, if it would even make sense for them to go out and try on another young player that could be good or bad, or if at that point they just hang on to Reeker. Because again, that is absolutely a possibility. They could keep giving Reeker another opportunity to develop. He's only had one bad split. It was a pretty bad split, but he could bounce back. He could do better. Who knows? But I do think, like I said before, this Mad Lions team is good. They have talent. And if things go right, and if they get the right mid laner, I think this is a team that could still go to Worlds, or at least, at the very least, compete for a World spot in 2022. I think if you have guys like Elyoya and Kaiser, your team is too good to be missing the playoffs, and I think you have to, at the very least, consider making some changes. And it seems like, hey, they might be looking at Niski, and who knows, they might be looking at other mid laners as well. Maybe they're going to talk to Jizuke. Maybe they're going to talk to Jensen. But at this point, I've heard that, again, at least from what people are saying, it's possible that they're interested in Niski, but it's also possible that they're concerned about that buyout. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think Mad Lions is going to get Niski? Do you think they want Niski? Do you think they should pay a buyout for Niski? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.